Hello there everyone, I'm Scotchbot82 and welcome to the debut episode of the Warriors Geeky News, in which I talk about some geeky news, primarily gaming, but you never know, a little geeky stuff may slip in there here and now. And as always, if you want, as from now on, let me explain what this is. I've got some articles that have been submitted by my subscribers in Clan, and I'm going to talk about them, give my opinion on them, and also let you know where you can go and view them, as a link in the description. Also, if I can, there will be timestamp, there will be annotations above my head linking to each story marked as 1, 2, 3, 4, and depending on how many stories I have, or so if you don't want to hear me talk about a particular story, you can skip right to the story you want me to talk about. To give you a use, I would use, and also there will be hopefully timestamps in there if everything goes according to plan. But so let's dive right into this, shall we? By talking about the first story, and this one was actually one linked to me. Thank you to Alex the Hunted. And as a recent news about EA planning on putting microtransactions in all of their future releasing titles, that includes single player games along with multiplayer games. For those who don't know what microtransactions are, they're basically in-game stuff that you can buy with real world money. You can buy either the currency of the game that's in there, credits, gold, experience as well, with real world money, normally ranging somewhere from 50 pence all the way up to maybe somewhere up to like $20 or £20. Now, microtransactions are most commonly found in MMOs and most commonly free-to-play MMOs because that's where, in my opinion, they belong. Now, by the way, as I stated, microtransactions are found in MMOs mostly, but also in quite a few multiplayer games. This isn't the first time EA has tried this. Quite a few of the more popular franchises, such as the Battlefield franchise, have had some form of microtransaction in them in Battlefield free-to-play, I think it was. It failed miserably because EA don't know what to do. EA are now, in my opinion, the worst publisher ever because they don't get the gaming community. Now, as it says, I have no problem with microtransactions in multiplayer because that's kind of where I think they belong, but most commonly they belong in MMOs or free-to-play games. Because that's where people make their money. And here's the problem. When you design a game, you have to take everything into consideration, including this new feature. If the EA we'll use BioWare because they're my favourite developer at the moment. Well, it's currently very shaky. BioWare design a game. They have to take everything into consideration. But if EA come to them and say to them, we want you to put microtransactions in it, that is actually something they have to redesign near enough the whole game for, especially the income. So they have to take into factor how much gold you get from a mission, how much gold you get here, but also that EA might come along and say, we want you to stunt the growth of the entire income that you can get so that people are more encouraged to buy stuff. It wouldn't surprise me, like I say, it's not confirmed, but EA would do that in my opinion because they are the worst developer out there. Not developer, worst publisher, my apologies. And I am going to tell you right now, I don't want this. I have no problem with them in multiplayer if it's there, but as it says, a developer has to near enough redesign the whole game when it comes down to if they want to implement microtransactions, especially in a single player game. There should be no such thing as a microtransaction in that, in my opinion, because it is stupid to have it in there, because it takes away from the experience, and in my opinion, it kind of almost ruins it, in my opinion, if it's not done properly, which I have yet to see a single player game that does it properly. And before everyone fucking comments on Dead Space 3, I don't agree with microtransactions in that either, because it's two of them, not all of them, I have had to look at them, but two of them are blatant cheats that probably should have been in the game from already in some kind of like New Game Plus mode or something. But EA have gone way too far now, in my opinion, and I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going to do what I can to try and spread the word to help people stop this, and we need to make sure that tell EA, don't do it. Don't put it in every single game you're going to be released because you're going to fail, in my opinion. I don't want to see microtransactions in my single-player games. I'm primarily a single-player gamer. I don't play a lot of online games because it's not my kind of thing. I much prefer a rich, story-driven environment or a game that's downright fucking hilarious and funny. Please, I don't like this. Fuck you, EA. Just give a big fuck you to them. They are gone too far now. Like, they've been going farther and farther each year, and they seem to be going out of their way to make themselves the most hated game publisher ever, because they are just milking everything for us. They are just going, let's milk this cash cow, let's milk it, milk it, milk. They're milking it. They don't care about the gamers. They don't care about the developers either. They just care about making money, which of course is a major part. They don't make money, they don't get to publish games. Same with developers. They don't make money, they don't get to make more games. But this is ridiculous. No, EA, stop it. I am done with this. I swear to you, if they implement microtransactions into Dragon Age 3 or the next Mass Effect game, I am going to kill someone, and hopefully I'll be the fucking CEO of EA. It is ridiculous. It really is pissing me off, and EA, you are going way too far. Stop this, and please stop ruining games. Try and actually do something right and listen to the people who are buying your games and not to the fucking minority who, well, not minority, in fact, unfortunately, we gamers are the minority. The people who fucking waste their money with these microtransactions stuff are the fucking majority of the EAC. By the way, no offense to people who do microtransactions. I'm talking about single player microtransactions, not multiplayer ones. It really pisses me off, and I fucking hope that EA don't do it. Literally, just do what you can. I'm going to do what I can to make sure EA realise that if they put microtransactions into single player games, I'm going to be done with them, and that is saying a lot. If Dragon Age, I'll definitely get in Dragon Age 3, I'm not going to lie, and possibly the next Mass Effect game. But if they have microtransaction games in them, those will be the last two games I will buy from any developer that is published by EA. I'm being honest here. Dragon Age 3 and Mass Effect, the next Mass Effect game, whatever it's going to be called, and not Mass Effect 4 for fuck's sake, I'll tell you that if they have microtransactions, I'll play them. I will play them, and if the microtransactions are still in that game, those will be the last EA published games I will buy. That's my opinion. EA, stop it. Do what you can, Clan, to help stop them. Okay, on a lighter note, let's go to some more news that doesn't piss me off. We're going to Telletael. Yes, that's Telletael Games, the makers of the Walking Dead Season 1 game, which in my opinion is a fantastic example of a mature game. I use that loosely. Now the news is that they are talking about Season 2 of the Walking Dead game, but not so much in that sense, as they are basically announcing that they want to do something in between Season 1 and Season 2. Now will this be, it's tough to say, they aren't really gonna. Will this possibly be an epilogue after the events of Season 1, because they did end in a bit of a cliffhanger, and in a very, 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 very sad note, so much so that it made me cry. Yes, I cried at it, so what? What could this mean? I just said it could be an epilogue, it could be maybe an aftermaths kind of thing. I don't know, but they are still working on Season 2, so I honestly don't know what this is going to be like. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a full-fledged expansion to Season 1, or is it going to be something to stand alone in the middle between Season 1 and 2? So like a Case Zero, really, from like Dead Rising 2 Case Zero, where it's a prologue before Season 2, but also updating you on the universe of Season 1. That would be very interesting in my mind. I can't wait to see what they do with that, so definitely props for them. Okay, the next article I'm going to be talking about is the Tomb Raider writer Rhianna Pratchett. I mispronounced the name, I do apologise. On the controversy and the characterisation of the character of Lara Croft. Now, for those that don't know, a few months back, before the release of the Tomb Raider, which is coming out in March 6th, and a little side note, could people stop sending me links to the reviews from them? I'm not watching reviews of them until I get the game. I am getting the game, and I'm trying to remain as unspoiled as I can. Just a little thing then. But in this article, Rhianna, not that Rihanna, is talking about really the controversy and how people reacted to it. She's also talking about the character. She actually stated in the article that she is a fan of the original Lara Croft games, the Tomb Raider, but she stopped playing it after Tomb Raider 2 due to the fact that, let's face it, Lara Croft became less of a character and more of a sexualized female character. Overly sexualized, if you get my drift. And I'm going to be honest, I don't like overly sexualized characters. I don't. I really don't. And she doesn't as well by the sounds of it. She says she really looked forward to redesigning Lara Croft's character and helping her be a bit more of a stronger person. And she did use the term person. She also says a strong female character, but I like the term person better. I personally don't view a main character that way. Sex should be the last thing in a character's thing, in my opinion, but that's a different topic. But she did talk about how people reacted to it, and basically how people were. She basically says that, for those that know I didn't even explain it. Apparently, one of the producers, I believe it was, came out and said that Tomb Raider will have an attempted rape scene in it, and you will have to protect Lara from it. This stirred up so much shit, it was unfucking believable. I was actually backing the developers and saying that a lot of people took that out of context. The trailer did. It also showed a trailer in which it showed Liara getting groped. and being manhandled. I literally bent over, in fact, and then a gunshot. Then it ended. People took that way out of context. People were reacting saying that is brutal that they would show an attempted rape scene in a game, and then I'm just like flashing at people on, you do realise you've just taken a whole thing out of fucking context. And she did say that she wished that people actually took a little bit of time to think about it. It did give them a lot of press, and a lot of people were like, I'm definitely going to pick up this game now. But as she said, people took a lot of offence to this, and I don't see why. This is a mature game, guys. It's a complete reboot to the Tomb Raider franchise, and I'm really excited for it, because it's more of a mature game. She's even stated that. And I like that about her. She's very honest about what she's saying. And I do think she's right that people did overreact and took the entire scene out of context and didn't even bother they're going, let's wait until the game comes out and then we'll see the scene. Because the scene is to emphasise how Liara, I'm getting Mass Effect mixed up, Lara reacts to taking a life for the first time. In this game, before that scene, she's never killed anyone. And this scene is to emphasise that she's protecting herself from being raped, and at that point she had no choice but to kill a human being for the first time. And what this game is trying to emphasize is how her character evolved during that, and also how she reacted to taking a life for the first time. And I think that's fantastic, and I really can't wait to see that. This isn't the Lara Croft who's doing fucking double bugging backflips while shooting two pistols while her legs are split open and killing a tiger and fucking giant jade golems. This isn't this Lara Croft. This is much more of a more vulnerable, but at the same time more independent Lara Croft, and I like that. I'm definitely going to be picking this game, and I give major props to Miss Pratchett. I give major props to you. You get an okay thing in my book. So as long as you don't piss me off. And for those who don't know, she actually also worked on Mirror's Edge, so that's a nice plus there. Okay, the next article I'm going to talk about is a Metal Gear Solid article. This is actually from the words of Kojima, who I'm not going to attempt to pronounce. I only know him as Kojima, the writer of the Metal Gear Solid franchise. And this is a very interesting article in my opinion, because he basically says that his next game, Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero, he doesn't think will actually sell that well and might not even get released due to the fact that he's making it a much more mature game. And he's touching on a lot of topics that not a lot of game developers were willing to touch on, or writers in that fact. What does this mean by that? He actually says that he wants to write more mature stuff, and he wants to do that with Ground Zero. He wants to make this game a much more adult and mature orientated game, and not something for little kiddies. He didn't say that in us, but he kind of emphasises that. And he stated an exact point that a lot of people have stated. He says, take a look at books, movies, and TV series. Book series and TV series like Game of Thrones, both in us, have rape scenes, nudity, flat out incest sex with the first episode, and they get praised galore. They get praised from the roof for showing that scene and showing it in that impact and how strong it is. They get praised, they get awards. When a game does it, it gets flack and then enough gets put off the shelves. And that's basically what he's trying to say, and I completely agree with him in my opinion. Games are a great media to go on it, and a much more impactful one in some cases than TV and movies and books. TVs, movies, and books are praised when they try and touch on stuff like that, but games are harassed and near enough ripped apart if they try and do things like that. And I completely agree with Kojima in this fact, and I do hope that Ground Zero does come out. Now, I'm not a big Metal Gear Solid fan. I haven't played any of the Metal Gear Solid games. The only game I've been interested in is Metal Gear Solid Rising Revengeance, which looks fucking epic. But if he does this in Ground Zero, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to pick this game up to support him, because I agree with him completely. He is very, very good at what he's saying, and I love the fact that he's talking about the fact that he wants to make games much more of a mature media, and I like that. Kojima, you're okay in my books. And I really do hope that he does succeed in this game, and I guarantee he's probably just doing this for press, but let's face it, this Metal Gear Solid game is going to sell big. And we know that. It's going to sell, but the thing that he's saying most worrying about is he doesn't even know if it's going to get published because of that fact. It's not going to get released because it's too mature, which worries me. I hope this game gets released, and I will be picking it up. So Kojima, you get major props from me, and I really hope that this is the next step in level in making games a much more mature audience, and they're more respected, just like TV series, movies, and books. It's just unfortunately gaming is getting picked on because it's the new kid in the block, and we love punching the living shit out of the new kid. I do hope that games are much more respected, and Kojima, hopefully you and other writers like Rhianna Rhianna Pratchett and David Geider and all those out there are much more stronger and stand up and just go, let's do this and let's make these games much more mature. Good job, Kojima, and I give you respect for that. Great, here's another article that's going to fucking piss me off. Megan Fox is going to be in the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie produced by Michael Bay. And it's strongly emphasised that she's going to be playing April O'Neil. This is not gaming, this is movies, so if you want to skip it, go ahead. I'm going to give my opinion. Let me just say this right now, I'm not a big fan of Turtles. I was not a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 80s. That's the one I was first introduced to, and I did watch it as a kid, and I enjoyed it. But I was much more of a bigger fan. In fact, I'm still a massive fan of the reboot in 2003, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which in my opinion is much more mature, gritty and dark, and I love it for that. And it's a great kids show in my opinion as well. It's fantastic at what it does, and I would highly recommend it. And that's the April O'Neil that I enjoy. The April O'Neil in that series is a smart, strong and independent woman. She is a badass in some instances. While the April O'Neil in the yellow jumpsuit with the massive tits was more for eye candy and damsel in distress, but I still like her. She was funny in some instances. But as I say, the April O'Neil I one is the redhead one from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the 2003 reboot. And what I liked about her character the most was the fact that she started off as terrified. She was scared the Turtles saved her, of course, but she didn't fucking act all stupid. And she wasn't kidnapped every 5 minutes. She actually helped the Turtles out in quite a lot. She's just as smart as Donatello, but also she actually asked Master Splinter to teach her ninjutsu, which that actually makes fucking sense. And she becomes quite a prominent fighter in the series as well. Megan Fox cast as her. Fuck you, Michael Bay. Fuck you, Michael Bay. I'm going to say this right now, I'm not seeing this film. There are very few films that I will say I'm never going to watch. This is one of them. Now, as I say, the whole alien thing a few months back, actually the Turtles do have an alien origin. The ooze that turned them into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was actually an alien experimental ooze. So, yeah, they do have an alien origin. But the idea of Megan... I'm going to go fucking Megan, but Megan Box... fucking playing April O'Neil is insulting. It is insulting in my opinion. For one simple thing, Megan Fox can't act. She cannot act. I get more performance out of a box than Megan Fox. I don't want her in any movie, let alone the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I'm going to be honest, I didn't like Transformers. I'm not a big fan of Transformers either in the series, but I don't like the movies because they're shot like a fucking porno. And Michael Bay is a horrible director. He's horrible. Like, don't get me wrong, I have liked one or two Michael Bay films, The Rock being one of them, just because Sean Connery's in it. But the idea of Megan Fox playing April O'Neil is insulting and should not be. I am not going to see this film as long as she's a part of that. I am sorry. That's saying a lot. I have seen some shit-ass fucking films, but the idea of her playing April O'Neil is insulting. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to see that film. Like, maybe after a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, I might see it. But I'm not going to the pictures to see it. I'm not buying it on DVD, and I'm not streaming it. It can go fuck itself. I'm not seeing that film. As long as Megan Fox is a part of that, I am not seeing it. I'm going to be honest, I am not going to see that film, because she does not play April O'Neil. There are plenty of actresses out there who are fantastic actresses who can play April O'Neil. And I'm not talking about low-class actresses, I mean top-class actresses. Because look at all the other adaptations we've got out there from the comic book adaptations where we have high-class actors like Anthony Hopkins playing prominent roles as Odin and Thor. We have high-class actors who are getting into these adaptation movies because, let's face it, they make fucking money. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to make a fuck ton of money. We know that. But if Megan Fox is a part of it, she can go fuck herself. I am not going to see that film as long as she's a part of it. Especially if she's playing fucking April O'Neil. I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to see that film because April O'Neil can go fuck herself. Megan Fox can go fuck herself if she's played April O'Neil. April O'Neil is such a fantastic character, especially the 2003 version, that if the very notion of a box playing her is insulting. Fuck you, Megan Fox. And by the way, from this point on, I am never talking about it again. I'm not giving this film any more praise, or any more fucking recommendations, or any more anything. I'm not talking about this film from this... As soon as I finish this sentence, I am not talking about this ever again, until Megan Fox is out of that movie. So from now on, don't ask me to talk about it, I am not going to talk about it. Fuck you, Megan Fox, fuck you, Michael Bay, and fuck you, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, if that's what you want to deal with. Done, dusted, move on to the final two articles. The final article, which isn't really an article, but it is something that was someone requested for me to talk about. I do apologise, I forgot your name. I'm sorry, I have forgotten your name. I actually have forgotten quite a few names. I made this list up about a week ago and I forgot to write the names down. I do apologise. I do believe it was N7 Normandy. I could be wrong, but I think he sent me it. And it was a video done by a YouTube Let's Player who done a video in which he'd been requested by some modders to help plug a massive modding attempt. And it is an attempt to bring the world of Morrowind into the world of Skyrim. For those who don't know, I'm talking about the Elder Scrolls series. These modders, are planning on taking Elder Scrolls Morrowind, the entire part of that, and putting it into the Skyrim engine. That is a massive undertaking. And the question that he asked was, are mods the new DLC? And I'm going to say this right now, mods are not the new DLC, mods are the new expansions. For those who don't know what mods are, they are modification to PC games primarily, in which they improve stuff, add stuff, stupid stuff, silly stuff, straight stuff, and normal stuff, and all that kind of stuff. It's quite, the modding community is fantastic. And the idea of someone doing this is extraordinary, in my opinion, because that is a massive undertaking, and the modders are actually looking for people to help do it. Modders are fantastic people, by the looks of it. A lot of them do a lot of hard work to put this stuff into there. And in my opinion, this isn't a DLC, this is an expansion. Now, if they do this, I'm going to be honest, I'll be really fucking tempted to pick up Skyrim on PC and actually play that mod. But I love that because of the passion. That is a passion project, and they're going to be releasing it for free. For free. That's extraordinary. This isn't people getting paid to do something. This is a large group of individuals all coming together to make something they love. And I love that. I absolutely adore that, and I'm giving them all the praise that they can do. Mods, in my opinion, are becoming way better than a lot of the DLCs that are coming out by the developers, and developers really need to take this into consideration, that mods can save a game. The best example I can give is Minecraft. For fuck's sake, the only reason Minecraft is as popular as it is and as successful is the modding community. If Minecraft didn't have the ability to mod on it, and Notch had decided, I don't want anyone modding it, which he almost did, Minecraft would have came and went in a heartbeat. But the modding community is so vast, so powerful that it succeeded, and I really hope that developers take this into consideration. But I give major praise to these people for doing this modding, and I wish them all the best and good luck with it. Can't wait to see what it does. Okay, I didn't really have much to say on it, but go check out the video, it's linked in the description. Now, the final article is actually something that came out a day or two ago, and it is that the possible box art was released of Assassin's Creed 4, or as I'm calling it, Assassin's Pirates of the Caribbean. And this is fantastic. I like the Assassin's Creed franchise. Assassin's Creed 3 was a bit disappointing, but Assassin's Creed 4 does look like it's the same character of Connor. It's hard to tell, which I'm not too fan of. Connor's a very dull character in my opinion. But I'm really excited for this because I really like the Assassin's Creed franchise. In Assassin's Creed 4, the cover actually implements a lot of, basically, in my opinion, pirates, basically. It looks very naval, and the naval missions in Pirates and Assassin's Creed 3 were fantastic. They were the best part of the game, in my opinion. And the idea of focusing the entire game around that does sound fucking awesome, because it was the best part, in my opinion, of the Assassin's Creed 3. And I love that idea, and I really hope that they do implement it, because the combat in that was fantastic, the action was absolutely fantastic. I loved the naval missions, they were fucking awesome, and I loved every minute of it, and I highly recommend playing them if you haven't. And the idea of doing that in a whole game looks fantastic. The only thing I have a problem with, and it's also in the article I'm looking at, is that apparently it's going to have up to 60 minutes of exclusive PS3 content. Now, this was alright, but this was with Assassin's Creed, and actually ended up turning out to be 25 minutes. Here's my opinion on this one. I hate exclusivity. I hate exclusivity to consoles. Developers, publishers, stop it. Stop it. I'm sorry, when I get a game, I expect to have everything that you've made for it on that fucking console that I bought it on. I hate exclusivity, and I really hope that a lot of developers stop doing this, because it's wrong in my opinion. Just because someone bought a game on a different platform, I bought a game on PS3, I bought a game on Xbox 360, but the Xbox 360 gets some exclusive content and the PS3 doesn't. Go fuck yourselves. I don't like that. When I buy a game, I want everything that's on it. And if the best example I can give of this is Bethesda, what they've done recently with Skyrim. They gave the Xbox exclusivity for 30 days, and it ended up being exclusive for months because there were major problems with the PC and PS3 ports of the DLC. I hate this. Stop doing exclusivity. Stop doing it, developers. When I really don't want to miss out on a DLC just because I bought it on another console, you're punishing me for not buying your game on a certain platform, when in actual fact you should be rewarding me for buying it. And not rewarding me, but helping support the game. I do apologise, my word choice was shitty there. I hate exclusivity, and I really hope the developers and publishers stop doing it, because it's really annoying. Every gamer should experience the DLCs that are available for a game if they so choose it. It makes stupid reason for a business standpoint as well, because you're taking 1/3. If you release a game on all three platforms, Xbox, PS3 and PC, and you only release exclusive DLC for one of them, that's 1/3 of your profit. In fact, I'll use this finger. That's 1/3 of your profit you could have made if you released it on all three. From a business standpoint, it makes no fucking sense. And also from a gaming standpoint, I don't agree with it, and I really wish they'd stop it. That's my opinion, and that's all the articles I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the articles down below in the comment section down below. And if you want to submit news for the next installment of the Warriors Geeky News, all you need to do is to either tweet me, Facebook, or PM me on YouTube with an article that you want me to talk about. My Twitter is @ScottishW92. My Facebook is linked in the description. And of course, you know how to PM me on YouTube. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below on all the articles I've talked about, and if you want to do a video response talking about each article individually. But as always, I thank you for watching. I am Scottish Warrior 92, and this is the end of the first installment of the Warriors Shitty. Yeah, well, I almost got my mic here. The Warriors Geeky News. Ciao for now. Mwah.